Listen closely to what I am about to tell you, because the air you are breathing right now on this morning of November 29th is not the same air you breathed just a few days ago. The great shift has happened. The massive gears of the universe have turned, and now we are standing in the afterglow of a cosmic event that has rewritten the very laws of your reality. You might be waking up today feeling a strange sensation deep in your chest, a mixture of exhaustion and an electric hum that you cannot quite explain, but your soul knows exactly what it is. The portal we walked through on the 27th was not just a door, it was a furnace. And you, my dear Scorpio, have walked through the fire and come out on the other side, changed in ways your mind has not yet comprehended. The universe does not make mistakes, and it is no coincidence that you are hearing this right now, in this exact moment of integration, when the dust is settling and the real work begins. The moon is still swimming through the mystic waters of Pisces, and Saturn, that great taskmaster, is now stationing, direct holding his ground firmly in the same sign, creating a structure for your deepest emotions to finally take physical form. And right now, before we go any deeper into the mysteries of these 48 hours, I want you to pause and claim this energy for yourself. So go down to the comments and write this powerful truth. I am the master of my depths, and I claim the power of my shadow to build my new reality. This declaration is your first step in anchoring the massive download of energy you have received, because silence is not an option when the universe is asking you to speak your truth. Think about the last few weeks, specifically the month of November, and how heavy it felt, as if you were dragging your feet through thick mud, carrying burdens that did not even belong to you. That was the preparation, the necessary clearing of the decks, so that you could stand here today on the 29th of November, lighter and more potent than you have been in years. The retrograde energies that forced you to look inward, to question everything, to doubt your path, were all part of a grand design to strip away the false layers of your ego, so that the real you, the authentic essence that lives beneath the mask, could finally breathe. Now that Saturn has turned direct in Pisces, a sign that naturally harmonizes with your watery Scorpio nature, the time for hesitation is over, and the time for tangible construction has begun. You see, Saturn in Pisces is usually a paradox, because Saturn wants walls and rules, while Pisces wants boundless oceans and dreams. But for these 2 days specifically, the 29th and 30th of November, they have signed a peace treaty. They are working together to take those intense visions you have been having, those vivid dreams that wake you up between 2 and 4 in the morning, and turn them into brick-and-mortar reality. But for you, Scorpio, the story is even deeper and more intense, because while the rest of the world is dealing with this Saturnian shift, you have something else happening right in your own backyard. Something so powerful that it could be frightening if you did not know how to wield it. I am talking about the presence of Venus and Lilith, the dark moon, traveling hand in hand through your sign of Scorpio, creating a conjunction that is nothing short of explosive. Venus represents your desires, your values, what you love and how you attract abundance. But Lilith represents your raw, unedited primal power, the part of you that refuses to be tamed or polite or small. When these two meet in your sign, it is a signal from the cosmos that you are done apologizing for who you are and what you want. You have spent too much time trying to make your intensity palatable for others, trying to dim your light so you do not blind those who are used to living in the dark. But those days are gone. The energy of this weekend is asking you to embrace the full spectrum of your being, including the parts you have been taught to label as shadow, or too much, or dangerous. This is where your true power lies, not in the polite smiles you offer the world, but in the fierce, unshakable knowing that rises from your gut. The Grandwater Trine that is active right now is connecting this Venus and Lilith energy in your sign with Saturn in Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer, creating a perfect triangle of flow that allows you to manifest with a speed that might seem terrifying. This is not a drill. This is the universe handing you the keys to the kingdom, but it demands that you are completely honest about what you want to build. You cannot use this energy to build a life that looks good on paper, but feels empty inside, because Saturn in Pisces will dissolve anything that is not rooted in your soul as truth. On this day, November 29th, you might feel the physical symptoms of this energy shift more acutely, perhaps a pressure in your temples, or a tingling in your hands, especially in your palms, which are the gateways of your healing energy. Your nervous system is upgrading, adapting to a higher voltage of frequency, and it requires you to be gentle with your body, even as your spirit is ready to run a marathon. The waters of Pisces are washing over you, enhancing your intuition to a level that is almost telepathic. So do not be surprised if you know who is calling before the phone rings, or if you can feel the emotions of people around you as if they were your own. This sensitivity is a gift, but it is also a responsibility, and it means you must be very careful about who and what you allow into your field during these 48 hours. The energy is permeable, and boundaries are more important than ever because you are in a state of creation, and you do not want to paint your masterpiece with someone else's colors. As we move through the hours of the 29th, recognize that this is the stabilization phase, where the chaotic influx of the portal starts to find its rhythm, and you begin to see the path forward, not with your eyes, but with your heart. The symbol for the degree where Saturn has stationed directs speaks of purification of an organization, overcoming corrupting influences. And for you, this is deeply personal. It means purifying your own internal organization, clearing out the beliefs that told you that you are not worthy, or that success must be hard, or that love equals pain. Those are the corrupting influences that Saturn is helping you to purge, so that you can stand in your authority as the architect of your destiny. You are being asked to look at your life and ask yourself what is real and what is performance, because the portal we just crossed only admits the authentic self. The masks you have worn to survive the armor you built to protect your soft heart, they served their purpose in the past, but they are too heavy to carry into the future that is waiting for you in 2026. And do not forget that this is the final act of Saturn in Pisces, a transit that has been reshaping your reality since March of 2023, and you will not get this specific opportunity again in your lifetime. This is the last call to master the lessons of emotional structure, to learn how to be vulnerable without being weak, and to understand that true strength comes from flexibility, not rigidity. As the hours tick by and we approach the transition into November 30th, you will feel a subtle shift in the atmosphere as the moon prepares to leave the mystic waters of Pisces and enter the fiery domain of Aries. This impending shift from water to fire is exactly what your Scorpio soul needs to ignite the fuel you have been gathering. You are a water sign, yes, but you are ruled by Mars, the planet of action and fire. So when the emotional depth of the water meets the spark of fire, you become a steam engine of productivity and transformation. But before that fire fully takes over on the 30th, you must spend the 29th sitting in the stillness of the water, allowing the insights to bubble up from the depths of your subconscious. Do not rush the process. Do not try to force the flower to bloom by pulling on the petals. Just let the energy circulate through that grand water trine, healing old wounds and expanding your capacity to receive. Jupiter in Cancer is playing a huge role here, expanding your emotional intelligence and bringing blessings to your home and family life, or perhaps helping you find a sense of home within yourself. Retrograde Jupiter demands that this expansion happens internally first, so you might feel like your heart is physically stretching to accommodate more love, more joy, and more abundance than you thought possible. And with Venus in your sign making a harmonious aspect to this Jupiter, you are a magnet for blessings right now, but only if you believe you deserve them. Lilith is whispering in your ear, reminding you that you are entitled to your desires simply because you exist not, because you earned them through suffering or sacrifice. This is a radical concept for many Scorpios who are used to the cycle of death and rebirth through pain, but the universe is showing you a new way, a path of evolution through joy and pleasure. On the night of the 29th, pay close attention to your dreams again, because as the veil is thin between the dimensions, your guides and your higher self are trying to communicate with you in symbols and metaphors. Write them down the moment you wake up, even if they make no sense, because in a few weeks, when the energy shifts again, those scribbles might be the map you need to navigate the next chapter. And as we bleed into the energy of November 30th, the vibration begins to quicken. The moon moving towards the end of Pisces signifies the completion of a cycle, a letting go of the emotional baggage you unpacked during the portal. The 30th is a day of bridging, where you take the emotional clarity you gained and start to infuse it with the initiatory energy of the coming fire. You might feel a sudden urge to move your body, to run, to dance, to shake off the lethargy of the deep waters, and that is your physical vessel preparing for action. The Grand Trine is still active, but now it is being charged with a sense of urgency, a knowing that time is precious, and you cannot afford to waste another moment living a life that is smaller than your soul. Saturn at 25 degrees of Pisces is watching you, holding the space, waiting for you to lay the first brick of your new foundation. This is manifestation in its purest form, not just wishing upon a star, but pulling the star down to earth and planting it in the soil of your daily life. You are being called to be a spiritual warrior, one who fights not with weapons, but with the unwavering power of intent and the courage to feel everything without looking away. The emotions you feel on the 30th might be volatile, swinging from deep sentimental tears to sudden bursts of passionate motivation, and that is perfectly normal for a Scorpio navigating this cosmic weather. You are the alchemist of the zodiac, the one who can take lead and turn it into gold. And right now the lead is your fear, and the gold is your future. Do not suppress the intensity. Do not try to numb yourself with distractions, because every emotion is a carrier of information telling you exactly where you need to direct your energy. The conjunction of Venus and Lilith in your sign is still tight on the 30th, pulsing like a second heartbeat, reminding you that your allure is at an all-time high. People will be drawn to you, fascinated by the mystery you project, and you can use this magnetism to attract the resources, the partners, and the opportunities you need. But remember, Lilith demands autonomy. So any relationship or contract you enter into now must honor your freedom and your power, or it will not last. You are not here to be owned or controlled. You are here to collaborate as an equal, as a sovereign being who knows their worth. The universe is clearing the path for you, removing obstacles that have stood in your way for months, if not years, but you have to be the one to walk the path. No one can do it for you. This weekend is a test of your faith, not faith in some external deity, but faith in yourself and your ability to navigate the unknown. The water energy supports you, it holds you up like a buoyant force, but you must stop fighting the current and let it carry you to the shores of your destiny. As you move through the 30th, you are essentially preparing the ground for the massive shift of 2026, when Saturn and Neptune will both move into Aries, starting a completely new era for humanity. You are building the ark now, so that when the floods of change come, you are not just surviving, you are thriving. The emotional infrastructure you build today, the boundaries you set, the truths you speak, they are the timbers of your ark. Consider the relationships in your life right now, under this penetrating Scorpio light. Are they feeding your soul, or are they draining your battery? Because with the clarity of this portal, you can no longer pretend not to see the truth. If something or someone needs to go, let them go with grace and gratitude for the lessons they brought, but do not hold on to dead weight out of fear of being alone. The universe abhors a vacuum, and the moment you release what is no longer vibrating at your frequency, you create space for something better to rush in. This applies to your career as well. If you have been toiling away at a job that crushes your spirit, the energy of the 29th and 30th is urging you to plot your escape or to transform the situation by bringing your authentic self to the table. You have the power to change the atmosphere of a room just by walking into it, so do not underestimate your impact. The profound stillness of Saturn in Pisces combined with the raw desire of Venus in Scorpio creates a laser-like focus if you choose to use it. You can achieve more in these 48 hours in terms of internal shifting than you have in the past 6 months if you simply sit with the energy and stop distracting yourself. Turn off the noise, put down the phone for a while, and listen to the silence. Because in that silence is the voice of your future self calling you forward. You are bridging the gap between who you were and who you are becoming, and that bridge is built on the stones of vulnerability and courage. It takes courage to be happy, especially when you have been addicted to the struggle for so long. But the universe is inviting you to break that addiction today. Happiness is not a betrayal of your depth, it is the ultimate expression of it. As the moon edges closer to that 0 degree of Aries late on the 30th, you will feel the spark, the first flicker of the flame that will light your way into December. But do not rush into the fire, just yet savor the water, savor the feeling of being held by the cosmos in this womb-like state of gestation. You are being reborn. Scorpio and birth is a messy, intense, and miraculous process. The pressure you feel is the pressure of the birth canal pushing you towards the light, and the only way out is through. Trust the timing of your life. Trust the delays that protected you, and trust the sudden accelerations that are propelling you now. Everything has happened exactly as it needed to, so that you could arrive at this moment with the wisdom and the scars to prove you survived. Your scars are not signs of damage. They are medals of honor, proof that you faced the darkness and won. Now, you are being asked to use that wisdom to help others, to be a beacon of truth, in a world that is drowning in illusions. But first, you must save yourself. You must secure your own oxygen mask before you can assist those around you. This weekend is about self-preservation in the highest sense, preserving your energy, your sanity, and your dreams from the forces of mediocrity. Do not let anyone tell you that your dreams are too big or too unrealistic, because with Saturn in Pisces, the impossible becomes possible if you are willing to work for it. And you know how to work, Scorpio. You have a tenacity that is unmatched in the zodiac. Use that tenacity now, not to fight against reality, but to shape it like clay in your hands. The clay is wet and pliable right now thanks to the water energy, but soon it will dry and harden. So you must sculpt your vision with intention before the window closes. Every thought you think this weekend is a chisel. Every emotion is a stroke of the brush, painting the canvas of your 2026. Be mindful of where your mind wanders. If you find yourself spiraling into fear or doubt, gently bring yourself back to the present moment, back to the breath, back to the feeling of your feet on the ground. You are safe, you are supported, and you are powerful beyond measure. The cosmic weather is wild, yes, but you are the storm chaser. You were built for this. You thrive in the intensity where others crumble. So stand tall in the eye of the storm and watch as the universe rearranges itself to match your vibration. The synchronicities will be off the charts during these 2 days, so look for the signs. Repeated numbers, songs on the radio that answer a question you just thought of, chance encounters with people who have the exact piece of information you need. These are not coincidences. They are breadcrumbs left by the universe to let you know you are on the right path. Follow them. They are leading you to a treasure that has been buried within you all along, waiting for the right alignment of stars to be revealed. And that alignment is here now. The combination of the stationary Saturn, the Pisces moon, the Scorpio Venus, and the Cancer Jupiter is a recipe for miracles if you have the eyes to see them. Open your eyes. Scorpio, open your heart and let the magic in. Do not analyze it to death. Do not try to dissect the miracle. Just experience it. Let it wash over you. Let it cleanse you of the cynicism that has built up over the years. It is okay to be innocent